Kindness begins in the heart. In a peaceful town in the Midwest, there lived a wealthy businessman named Richard Carter. He owned several stores, ran successful companies, and had everything a person could dream of, except compassion. Richard believed in numbers, contracts, profits. He had no time for emotions, no interest in helping others. One chilly winter morning, as Richard walked to his car outside his office, a small boy with messy hair and thin clothes approached him. The boy looked up, his eyes tired but polite. "Sir," he said, "my sister is sick. Could you spare $1? I need to buy her medicine." Richard barely glanced at him. "Don't beg, kid," he said coldly. "Go find a job." The boy nodded silently and walked away. His eyes stayed in Richard's mind for some reason. Days passed. Richard made more deals, earned more money. But he couldn't shake the image of that boy. It haunted his sleep. Every night, he dreamt of the child's face, his eyes filled with sadness and quiet hope. Then, one day, Richard fell ill. His strength faded. He saw the best doctors money could buy, but none could cure him. His mansion, his luxury, all felt empty. That night, he had a vivid dream. An old man with a glowing light stood before him and said, "Richard, you have everything, but you are poor in spirit. Do you remember the boy you turned away? You closed your heart. The prayers of the poor are never ignored." Richard woke up shaken. His breath was heavy, and his soul felt tired. He called his assistant and said, "Take me to the shelter downtown. I need to make something right." They drove through the city's older districts, past broken buildings and quiet alleyways. Richard visited a local orphanage. The building was cold and underfunded. He walked through the rooms and saw children playing with broken toys, eating plain food. And then, he saw the boy. The same child from that winter morning. Now wearing slightly better clothes, but still thin and pale. Richard knelt before him. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "That day, I failed you. I failed as a man." The boy looked confused, then smiled a little. "It's okay, sir," he said softly. "You're here now." From that day, Richard changed everything. He funded the orphanage, hired new teachers, brought in doctors, clothes, food, and books. He created a scholarship fund for underprivileged kids. Every weekend, he visited the shelter, reading stories to the children, playing board games with them, listening to their dreams. People in town started calling him the gentle giant. Not because of his size, but because of how his heart had grown. Years later, the boy, whose name was Lucas, became a social worker. His sister, Emily, became a nurse. They helped countless children, always remembering the man who once turned away but found his way back. And Richard? He lived the rest of his life quietly, humbly. When he passed, hundreds attended his funeral, not for the money he once had, but for the hearts he had touched. Moral: true wealth is not measured in dollars, but in the love and kindness we give to others. Compassion can heal not just the broken, but also those who have forgotten how to feel.